something that's important about defending the armbar is feeling it coming. And so it's going to take getting armbarred a number of times to start being aware of the angles that the bottom person needs, and to start to feel like, okay, they're starting to get the angle, or already know my arm is at risk for the armbar. Okay? And some of that comes from doing arm bars. You start to realize what the angles and the distance is for the arm bar. But then, from the top side, you get tapped a few times, you start to feel it coming. All right, so Jordan's going for the arm bar here. I already know, based on his grips and based on where my arm is. My arm's inside his hip, and my hand's high by his chest. I'm exposed. Okay, so I know that, like, he needs to get the angle, he needs to get his leg over my head to be able to do this arm bar. So again, the more you can anticipate it coming, the more time you have to react, the more likely you are to escape a submission. Okay. So right when I feel him making these grips, I'm going to try to protect this arm. Okay, so I'm going to take my hand and start to grab my own bicep. Okay. When he swings around and throws his leg over my head, I'm going to capture his hamstring. Okay. From there, I'm going to step up and drive in. I'm going to make sure I have good head pressure on the back of his legs. All right. I'm going to drive his knees kind of towards my left, and then start to retract the arm. From there, I'm going to drive past the guard. So again, I need this hand a little bit free, ready to grab my other bicep, and it feels like a little bit like a rear naked choke here. Okay? Like a rear naked choke without a head inside or without a neck inside. He pivots. I'm going to catch his leg. Okay? Stack. All right, and then I'm going to try to drive my head into his legs towards my left, and then slowly pull that arm out. And then from there, I'm going to pass. That makes sense, guys? This needs to be done. You need to be setting this up as they're stepping over the head. Every submission has a different layer of defense based on how early you recognize the threat. Okay, so this is an early defense where we see it coming. The later defense would be like someone's already straightening your arm out and you do a hitchhiker escape. So we're not going to cover all the defenses. There's so many defenses to the armbar, but we're going to cover this main one today. So whether Jordan's on side control or he's on mount, we'll just do it from mount first. Okay. Let me turn this way. Jordan's on mount. He starts to control my arm. You see, that's the indicator. Like my elbow's getting drugged from the outside to the inside. I see this coming. I'm going to start grabbing my bicep. Okay, he starts turning the corner here. All right, look, I'm already grabbing in preparation for the leg to come over the head. Now, initially, what I might do, go ahead, I might try to block this arm and keep it off my head. Okay, there's different defenses where I'll walk my back over his leg so it never comes over the head. That would be an even earlier defense. Like, I don't let the leg come over my head at all. In this case, I use my free arm and then put my back. But since we're doing this specific escape from guard, I'm gonna tie them together, because a lot of times, we don't get there before they get the leg over the head quick enough. They get the leg over the head, but we still are gonna grab that leg to protect the arm he's trying to armbar. Do you mind doing the other side because I hurts my rib? Yeah. So I grab my bicep. As he goes over the head with his leg, I grab his leg. So we're in the same spot underneath as we were in guard. At this point, what I'm going to do is try to rock, because I want to get back to guard. Okay? So I'm going to rock up, and then I'm going to swivel my legs like this and start to come to the top. And now I'm in the back in the same spot we were in before. So you got to use some momentum and then a little bit of a hip heist to get to your knees. And then finish the arm bar escape the same way we finished it when they attacked it from guard. So we're recreating that position from bottom, getting to the knees, and then extracting the arm. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so you guys can just start from mount like Jordan did. All right, he's dragging the arm across, he's turning the corner. I see that coming, I grab my tricep. Here, he steps over, I grab his leg, okay? And you can kind of start pushing the legs up a little bit. That's gonna take some weight off, all right? Hit little hip out, turn your hips, step up, okay? And start to extract the arm and try to pass. Does that make sense, guys? Get the legs, the weight of the legs a little bit off of your chest before you start to try to come up. The heavier the legs are on your chest, the harder it's going to be to come up. A lot of it is this kind of motion right here. It's like you're rocking, but then you're turning your hips. It looks a little bit like that pendulum sweep, okay? Getting to your knees. Let's give it a shot, guys. 1, 2. So sometimes I might be like a little bit lower here. You know, whatever you need to try to get some of that weight off of you. You know, if you just do this, keep your legs heavy. If you just do this, you know, his legs are going to be heavier here. So like push the legs up a little. See how he just turned a little? You know, don't just rely 100% on your rocking. Just kind of like lift those legs up and cheat your hips out a little bit. Turn your knees, drop. And once you get here, guys, like don't rush. You know, make them uncomfortable. Make them, you know, take your weight, carry your weight a little bit, and then work your arm out slowly. Like it's not a rush. You may try to rush to pull your arm out and they still catch the arm bar. Okay, so a couple more reps and then we're going to talk about defense for omoplata. 1, 2.